Hello everyone, welcome to this free Reiki offering, Reiki Circle here. You will be getting some distance Reiki, some distance love, and also I'll be sharing with you some information about what I'm working on currently, and I would love to invite some of you on that journey with me. So before we get into things, I just want to have kind of like a layout of what's going to happen for today. So we'll be together for about, usually like to go for about 75 minutes, and we'll meditate a little bit. We'll talk at the beginning. I would love to hear from you all, and we'll open up the chat. But for anyone watching live, you'll get to, or the replay rather, you'll get to experience, you'll still get to experience Reiki. And Reiki is a beautiful energy, a beautiful love energy that is from source, so it transcends time and space. So everyone here live, you get to experience it, but anyone that's watching the replay, you get to experience it as well. And I'm so happy to have you all here. So let's all start by first, I kind of already talked to you all that are currently here, but I would love to just take a moment to open up the floor to reflect on what are you working on in healing. And I know I am recording this, so it's totally up to you what you would like to share. And we could work with the chat today. And as I'm getting everything together for the meditation and then the Reiki portion, drop in the chat what you're working on healing right now. And today's theme for this class is self-trust and trust in general. So why I wanted to talk about that is because that's a huge thing in my journey. A huge part of my journey is trusting in God, trusting in the mystery that is guiding me, supporting me, loving me, and that was kind of what came to me, was trust. So I would love to hear from you. What are you working on in your life? Is it emotional mastery of, gaining control over your emotions, or the ups and the downs, your schedule, more self-care? Where are you at in your life, in your journey? And feel free to drop in the comments. We also might have your journal and your pen, and you could jot down some information there. But otherwise, we'll start to get set up for our seated meditation. So grab a comfortable seat or something to sit on, and I'll grab my Reiki book as well. Awesome. So I'm going to just read through some of what I have coming through with the chat. And if you want it to be private, you can message me privately. Sometimes that just happens by accident. But let me know, Lizzie, if it's cool if I share this. Cool. So Rachel says, working on self-love. Amazing. And what does that entail, Rachel? What does that look like to you or feel like to you on a daily basis? Daniela says, I am working on building resilience and grace when old stories and programs come up. Yeah, I can so relate to that. I had a little bit of that this morning. Which triggered that trust, that self-trust, that foundation within my life, within myself. And when I think of self-trust, it's really forming a relationship with yourself, and like doing things, like when you have those moments of listening to your intuition and you're like, yes, and you're like following what your body's saying, and then there's the moments where you don't follow that. So when you're not following your intuition, you're going against some of the things that you believe in or what your body's communicating to you. That's where there's like a little misalignment with you and trust. So the more that you befriend yourself, the more that you listen to when your body is really trying to tell you something, or those moments that your body or that inner voice is saying no, and you start doing exactly what it tells you not to do, you're going against that, that trusting in you. And self-trust also breeds confidence. So the more that we develop that relationship with ourselves, the more we show up, and it also builds our self-confidence as well, is what I'm learning. Awesome. So I'm going to read some of these. Laura says, I'm working on the difference between boundaries and comfort zone. Wow, I love that. Yes, boundaries teach us so much about ourselves, our own boundaries, and then the boundaries of other people. And also, when can we push that to get out of our comfort zone? Love that. Lizzie says, making space for what serves me and releasing what no longer resonates with me. Amazing. And how do you know what doesn't resonate with you? And anyone could throw in a comment there. Katie says, awesome. Trust that in the unknown is totally what I'm working on. Trusting all the unknown and change is happening for a reason. Yes. Has anyone read the book, It's Not Your Money? Has anyone read that? Oh, I have to let someone in. I just started reading this book. Laura's here, yay. It says it's not your money. So it's a book on abundance and really having this relationship with God and trusting where he or she or they are taking us. And Katie just made me think of that. Katie, I think you read that book in the mentorship you were doing. Cool. So Rachel says taking time to meditate. We're talking about self-love. So taking time to meditate, cook, wholesome foods, exercise, dance. Not guilty for taking up space. Yeah. Who, raise a show of hands, who often feels guilt? Yeah. And I feel like I was talking to my therapist about toxic guilt. And it's like the guilt that we like put on ourselves over situations that are not always, like they don't even have anything to really do with us, or they're not even our fault, but we're putting this toxic guilt on us, where I feel like guilt in a way is almost like a punishment. And sometimes when we're showing up for ourselves, and when we're making big changes in our lives, and it could be uncomfortable, and then also for the people around us to see us changing, that might be uncomfortable for them, but it also might be liberating for them as well. But there's like this conversation happening with ourselves around changing, and guilt might come up. And I'm still working on all the conversations around guilt and how to have a relationship and communicate with that part of me that is almost punishing myself. Okay, so we're gonna get into it now. So I'm just reading. Lizzie says, more focused on ego or what it looks like to others, or catching up with others. And that was in regard to what no longer resonates with her. Yeah, good to know, Vic. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started on our meditation, and then we'll get into our Reiki healing. So if anyone has any reflections or anything as they're going along, just drop it in the chat. Cool. So we'll just start by shaking out our hands. Bring your arms up to the sky. Breathe out of the mouth. Good, bring it up to the sky. Breathe it out. Good. Move around the torso. And maybe some of you have been sitting all day. So if you have to stand up and shake it out, I'll probably do that too. And then connect with your breath. Shake out the legs, wherever you are. And just give your body a wiggle and connect with your breath. Good. Release your jaw. Open the mouth wide. And then if you stood up, you could come back. Whew. I always like to just shake it out a little bit. Nice. And then feel your seat, wherever you're sitting, feel it on the earth or a chair, and just rock it side to side. Good, and come to the heart. Take your hand, your right hand to your heart. Connect with your breath, breathe out of the mouth. And relax your face into the nose, out through the mouth. Let's clear some space together. Perfect. Good. Follow that rhythm, follow that flow. And just come into the body, notice where there's any tension. Where in your life do you feel like there's an overload of stress? Before I came on here, I did some Reiki to myself and also had a Reiki experience for 20 minutes laying down. The more I do this practice with me, I'm reminded of how beautiful this energy is, these practices, but also how much I want to share it with the world. Okay, take a few breaths here. And on the exhale, you could softly exhale out of your mouth. Then allow the breath to take you down towards your pelvis and towards the root. Release a little in this space, soften in this space. Follow your rhythm, breathing in. Softly breathe out. Follow your breath and try and bring your inhale up into your heart, into your palm, front of the heart, the back of the heart. And then exhale, draw it down. So it's like a wave. The inhale takes you up, the exhale takes you down. reflecting on the things that you're working on or the things that you're currently feeling or working through in your life. Think about how it would pertain to the body. And we'll just use our imagination here. The stuff that you're working on, where would it reside in the body? What part of the body? Is it the heart, the belly, sacrum, the neck, the upper back? Sometimes it could be that place of tension for you. Or maybe it's a spot you're already well aware of. So locate this spot in the body and recognize the feeling, maybe the color or sensation of this area. Can you bring your hand to this spot now? So we'll just start us off with a little opening chant. You can feel free to join, but you don't have to. We're invoking Ganesha, the elephant deity or goddess that is the remover of obstacles. So I find that Reiki helps to work on obstacles in our lives. And not only that, but work on an energetic or subtle level that we may or may not necessarily feel. Just like we may not feel God right there with us or right in our body. But this energy is always there, supporting us. So when we chant, we're calling out, we're connecting with Source. In the same way we connect with Reiki, we connect with our joy. And so let's all take a collective breath in. Breathe it out. So the words are Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha Charanam. So you'll catch on or maybe just feel the rhythm. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Shri Ganesha, Ganesha, Shri Ganesha Charanam. Shri Ganesha, Ganesha, Shri Ganesha Charanam. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Shri Ganesha, Ganesha, Shri Ganesha Charanam. Shri Ganesha, Ganesha, Shri Ganesha Charanam. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye. Take a big breath into your whole body. Breathe it out. We all step into a deeper state of trust. Trust that all our needs are met and will be met. And God is only a breath away. A call away, a chant away, a run in the park away, a walk away. And stay with yourself in this moment. Breathe into your whole body, scanning, being your own little detective here. How is your heart doing? How's your body feeling? Remembering to come back to ourselves. Especially when it comes to healing. Back to yourself, and you may have your teachers and your therapists and your Reiki practitioners. It's always important to come back to you and start to understand the language of your body, of your spirit, your essence. And feel free to stay in meditation. You could bring yourself back. I just want to talk a little bit about what is Reiki, and then we'll get into an awesome experience. And I have this beautiful book that I'm always referring to, and I was just reading about Shakti, which is creative energy, which is just like is the energy of God as well. But there's one thing that he was explaining when he was talking about the energy of Kundalini, which is at the base of our spine. But Reiki, Rei means spiritually guided, and then Ki is life force. So if you're into yoga and you're a practitioner and just a student, prana is life force, and that it animates our life inside our body, but also around us. Plants have prana. There's prana, there's life force in the air, in the clouds, in the water. And so ki is, so that's in Japanese, ki means life force. And that same ki is the energy of Kundalini or Shakti, the energy of chi. So chi is in Chinese medicine, and ki is in Japanese. And then in Christianity, it would be called the Holy Spirit. So we're working with this divine energy. So I'm just going to read a little part of the book, and then the inner energy that is within us or at the base of our spine waiting to be awakened. And I feel like if you're on the spiritual journey, that would be a conversation for you to have with yourself or with God about your spiritual awakening or where you're at in that regard. Because that's like a sacred conversation with yourself. But this inner energy is known as Kundalini, and it exists within every human being. It is more subtle than our breath, and this is why we are not ordinarily aware of it. The Kundalini is spoken of in nearly every tradition, though it is known by different names. In China, it is called Qi. In Japan, it is known as Ki. The scriptures of Christianity call it the Holy Spirit. In India, it has many names, but it is known mainly as Shakti, cosmic energy. Shakti is the dynamic aspect of the formless and attributeless supreme absolute. The sages of India worship her as the great goddess, the mother of the universe. Shakti is the divine creative energy, the force through which the absolute brings everything into existence. So tonight we're connecting with Kundalini, we're connecting with that Shakti, that creative dynamic energy, and that's the same thing as ki. And Reiki, when we put those words together, Rei is spiritually guided, Ki is life force. So we're working with spiritually guided life force. Where is it coming from? It's coming from God. So Reiki is such a powerful and subtle energy, but you will receive what you are meant to receive. And also with your intention, that's where a sense of support comes in as well, because you can also put your intentions in as we go along. We'll have a moment for that, but you can put your intentions in. What are you working on? What are you trying to let go of? Intention is powerful, but then also God also has a plan for us too. So there's that putting the intention in, also not being attached to the outcome, and then surrendering and leaning back. So the whole back of our body is the unknown. So if you ever catch yourself like always leaning forward and like always like reaching forward, are we living in the future? Or are we living in the past or the present? So the back of our body is the unknown. So how often are we connecting at the back of our body? You know, it's always a lot of this, a lot of the front of us. So when we do this healing work, when we go to lay down, I want you to focus on the back of your body the first few minutes to really soften there and to feel the earth beneath you. And there's this like leaning back. And even when we meditate, lean back a little bit. Good. So while we're here, let's just take a big stretch up with our arms, interlace the fingertips, and bring it up to the sky. And then release it, come down. We'll take a little twist, and then we'll start to make our way down. Cool, so set up your space. So you're comfortable. If you have an eye pillow, I always recommend eye pillows. If anyone ever needs one, I'll deliver a mail one to you. They're like my favorite thing. I have a bunch. Or I use my hair as an eye pillow and just do this. You can put a shirt over you. If you're in a chair, that's fine. You can lay down as well. I like to have Reiki experiences laying down flat with a pillow underneath my knees and a pillow under my head. Whatever feels right for you though. And totally up to you if you want your camera on at this point. And what I'll do is, first get your music set up as well. So we'll press play together when we're ready. I'm gonna look at my own music from my side. And if you have any questions, you could let me know right now. You could unmute yourself, give me a question. If anyone needs the music, I'll copy and paste it again. But otherwise, we're good to go. So we'll click play together. 3, 2, it's not even like one of those songs that you really need to count down, like in yoga. You could just click play wherever you are. And set yourself up to follow my voice. So once I get you to the meditation visualization, I will shut off my camera and my sound as well, so that you can just receive Reiki. So when you're ready, get yourself set up. And if you're laying down on the floor, just give your body a little shimmy and a breath out. If you're sitting up, same thing. So just take the first 2 minutes to get yourself situated. Flick your fingertips. Wiggle your feet or your legs a little bit. Shake something off. Feel the back of your body and whatever surface it's on, and breathe into this space. Breathe into the back of your heart, middle of your back, even your low back, the back of the head, your left glute, your right glute, tailbone, back of the legs. Feel it on the earth. Let the body soften a little bit. The jaw unclench. Just take a few breaths in and out of the mouth. So something a little bit different. So just slightly open the mouth. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. Get 2 more rounds of that slow. Beautiful. And then let that go. You just come back to a regular breath. Into the nose, out through your nose. And at any point you feel like a building up, allow it to come out through the mouth and just exhale. And use your intuition as we go a little deeper here together. Your body's so intelligent. It really wants to develop this relationship with you. So how much can we listen and attune to the body? And reconnect with yourself. Good, so scan the body and soften. Are you holding on anywhere? Can you relax your face and your fingertips and your toes? So I will share with you what is called the Holy Love 2 experience. So we're working with Holy Fire Reiki. So in this experience, holy love scans the person's timeline in this life to find an experience that needs healing and is important in healing the person to move forward on his or her spiritual path. This experience then works with the aspects and energies involved to heal the issue. So maybe something has come up in your mind of an experience that you're still working on healing. And we all have those deeper wounds, or maybe they're just really subtle, but they spark something in us. Maybe in this moment you know what it is, and maybe you don't. And that's okay too. So you'll follow my voice and I'll take you on a little visual journey, and then you will completely relax and just receive Holy Fire Reiki. So imagine it is a beautiful sunny day. Imagine you are walking through a beautiful forest. As you breathe into yourself, imagine you are breathing in the life essence of the forest. And with each step you take, you feel the earth beneath you, the moist, nurturing earth. And with every step you imagine the energies of the earth are flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. As you walk along, allow yourself to experience the trees, plants, flowers, and grass, and to merge with the life and the harmony and peace of the forest. As you continue to walk along, you notice that up ahead it is getting lighter, and you realize you're coming to the edge of the forest. As you leave the forest, before you is a beautiful river. It is the river of life. There are beautiful flowers growing alongside this river. And there's a path alongside the river. See this path and follow it. Eventually you come to a bend in the river, and there is a light breeze blowing, causing the surface of the river to have small ripples. You reach down towards the water and you dip your hands in and you cleanse your face. You cool your body down. And as you gaze into the river, you see the sun that's shining off the rippled surface of the water. And it's creating a glittering, shimmering light. And you realize that this is no ordinary light, but it's a spiritual light coming from the highest heaven. You allow You allow this light to enter your soul. Allow this light to guide you. Allow this light to guide you. Only thing you have to do is surrender here to lay and follow the light. begin to deepen the breath and stay in this experience for as long as feels good for you. And to breathe into your whole body. Really take your time here. Take your time moving, wiggling the fingers and toes. Bringing yourself back. Bring yourself visually back to the river and begin your walk back. Feeling the earth beneath your feet. Going back into the lush forest. And coming out on the other side, back into your body in this current moment. Deepen your breath. And breathe it out. And in your own time, you'll come up to sit, or back to a meditation seat. And just notice how you feel now. Ready, you can take your hands to your heart, sitting upright. Let's all connect with our voice here. So with your hands at your heart, take one deep breath in. Clear it out. 3 ohms all together. Breathe in. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking the time out. A moment for trusting yourself, for surrendering to receive. And and bow down, seal your practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here live and being here if you're watching the replay. And in a few moments, I would love to open up the floor to have anyone share and speak, but I would like to personally invite you all to the next Reiki offering that I'm doing, and it's really growing. My relationship with Reiki is really growing, and I'd love to share it with you all. And I have a new training coming out. It's 2 parts. It's part 1 is level 1 Reiki, part 2 is level 2, but the whole training itself is called Healing the Healer. And the idea of this training, and it's coming together like the more I plan it, it's to really reflect on our own healing journey. And healing work is something that I love to do, and really is kind of the foundation of what I do, and my business as well. But this healing training is really a time to reconnect with yourself, and what are you healing, what's your healing journey like, and to learn about Reiki, the history of it, and hand placements, self-healing on ourselves. That's all in level 1, part 1. And then distance healing is kind of what you got to experience today, where I did some symbols on my end. And yeah, you could work with clients online, and maybe you just want to work on yourself. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about Reiki, is that you can use it on yourself, your family, your friends, or you can also open a business if you feel called to. So yeah, I have the application form right here that I will drop in the comments. And if you resonate at all or feel called, feel free to fill out the application, and then we would have a one-to-one meeting, and I would answer any questions you might have and see if it's the right fit for you. But the difference that I didn't get into, the difference between Holy Fire Reiki and the Usui lineage. I know there's a lot of different Reiki lineages. I've talked to some people, and depending on who their teacher was, but the big difference that I'm learning as I continue on this journey is that Usui, so William Lee Rand is the creator of Holy Fire Reiki, and in a way he got like a download, or he works with his own healers, with his own clairvoyant teachers, and essentially he got a message to create this new Reiki lineage. And actually Jesus kind of came to him in this way and was like, I want you to do this. And so this message kind of came to him, and Holy Fire Reiki was the result of it. So essentially, for those that are Reiki practitioners, you may be familiar with Usui. In a way, we call upon and we channel Reiki. When we do Holy Fire Reiki, it's already placed. So as a practitioner that is teaching it, it's placed into your body. So when you do like a healing, when you do the training, it'll get placed into your body, and then you activate or call on Reiki, and the Reiki flows so source to client. So really, the practitioner kind of takes a step back in a way and allows Holy Fire Reiki to flow. And as a practitioner that does healing work, I am able to, like, I see and understand Holy Fire Reiki, but then I also see as a practitioner of living waters healing. Some of you have actually experienced that. And Usui lineage, which I have too. So I have all these different modalities of healing, and I find that at the end of the day, it's really a conversation with God. And God is really orchestrating and performing what is taking place. So with that being said, I would love to hear from you all what this experience was like, but I did want to offer up and invite you all to the new training I'm doing this fall, and that starts September 30th for part 1. Part 1, I have 4 spots left. Part 2, I have 1 spot left. I might have to open more spots, but we'll see. So yeah, so good to hear, Daniela. So if anyone wants to share their experience, I'm actually going to stop the recording, and then we could kind of have our own little few minutes to communicate. But thank you all for being here live. Thank you all for being here on the replay, and I will see you. Bye. But you're not, yeah, so I'm going to stop the recording before I keep talking. Bye, people that are watching the replay. Let's put it that way.